how Apple News makes money with and why it was a good idea. So, in general, it's no secret here that Apple that the newsstand industry is dying. Newspaper dying. If you're a millennial, you don't read a newspaper most likely, and if you're a Generation Z, you're probably asking, what is a newspaper, right?
If Apple were to create their version of the pogo stick, do you think they would call it the IHOP and claim innovation?
Okay, if you want an actual non-shitpost answer, King Potate, the answer would be, how does the pogo stick play into the Apple ecosystem to reinforce a misconceived perception of value by comparison to other Apple products? Because it's less about like how it does on its own and more about how it does compared to how it's perceived as value compared to other Apple products, and then that's what really reinforces it home here. It's the ecosystem reinforcement to make this value higher than it actually is. So that would be the real take there. But yeah, the pogo stick, I don't know, it would have to like double as a dragon dildo. You can on one end it's a pogo stick, but on the other end it can be the dildo, and they can probably do both simultaneously. I don't know, fuck. That way they can poke right, they get close to your wall every fucking time. So how Apple News makes money and why it was a good idea for them today. Now I want to clarify here again how it was a good idea for them as a business, not necessarily for you the consumer. That's a different thing here. So I want to clarify. I'm talking about why they were smart for what they did here, purely on a business venture kind of thing. So yeah, newsstands dying. Newspapers are irrelevant to anyone young. You're not really reading a newspaper. You're not really eager to read those as well. There have been notable layoffs in a lot of local newspapers over the last decade. I remember reading one in particular about that, which is pretty unfortunate. And so in general, the printed word is dying. I think it's no secret there, right? So that also extends by association to probably magazines. Even particularly to me here in the early 2000s, I was an advocate reader of gaming magazines, whether it be Electronic Gaming Monthly, official PlayStation Magazine, official Xbox Magazine. Those are reinforced by including bundled demo discs that I was able to play on my Xbox and PS2. But obviously, I think all of you here, some of y'all here were definitely magazine advocates back then. And over time, demos, betas, digital consumption of games have kind of replaced the benefit of the demo disc allure. And then also the printed word kind of got too slow for you because, you can just you don't really need print anymore because you got the digital word out there now getting things done faster. And then the digital word becomes slower because now you have, the video information sharing feed in a post YouTube world where you're getting the interview. 15 years ago, you were reading the interview about Hideo Kojima's new game, and then 15 years later, now we were able to just watch the interview with Hideo Kojima talking about his new game. So that has changed certainly, right? And the thing is here is that the printed word is now dying. So and obviously there's just an obnoxious paywall to to read and watch shit. I haven't felt compelled to buy a magazine since I had a flight where I over 8 years ago where there wasn't Netflix that had downloadable movies and shit. So yeah, the magazines have not been compelling me for a very, very long time. And the idea of and the thing about why this is a good idea for them right now is that you're pretty much seeing a dying industry, vying to stay open and alive. And you have the very lucrative position for Apple here where they can just literally boost the relevance and literally offer them on a platter the ability to use their success and mass adoption rate of their devices to innovate. I say innovate, but modernize the expectation of magazine content. Reading a magazine requires, buying it, storing it, physically flipping through the papers, and, then when you're done with it, you're done with it. And by comparison, you have the digital idea of a magazine where, can you make it more compelling than a static web page? The answer is yes. So that's the big difference there. Is Apple News is able to is going to try to here again. I'm not endorsing them. They're going to try to give you an ultra premium experience of reading and digesting information with infographics on paper page views. So it's a good idea because Apple now, obviously, they're going to take a massive cut of that, rather than selling the newspaper up front, they're going to get probably a very good, I would say probably at least 30% cut of all sales of anything that's going to be within the Apple News service. And so they're able to come in here now, and this obviously, the idea here is that it's going to boost, everyone's bottom line who's participating in the Apple News magazine cycle, and that will allow Apple more clout to reinforce that, hey, no, you need us. Like, if you don't like our rates, whether they go up or down or whatever, or I'm sorry, it's Apple, whether they go up further or not, you need us because honestly, you're I'm gonna say here, Vogue or Cosmo, whatever, right? You know how many eyes you get when you have the printed word? This much. You know how many eyes you got whenever you were part of the Apple News thing? Like 10 times that amount, motherfucker. So you fucking need us. You quit here, fuck you. We're gonna up your rate when you want to buy back in, bitch. They'll probably pull some shit like that or whatever. So yeah, Apple News Plus is them gonna get them very, very lucrative market position. Jamie, thank you for
so lucky I listened.
Jamie, thank you for the 1,000 bits with the 4-leaf clover. I'm happy you're enjoying everything. Thank you so much. That is really, really really generous of you. I really appreciate it. And the most important thing here is there's no competition. This is one of those things where it's a very lucrative blue ocean strategy where there's no magazine subscription service, from what I recall, available right now. So Apple getting in that position with their insane user base of iOS products means that they win. Like, again here, because it's not even about that it needs to be compelling. It's the fact that they have like a complete, they're going to be able to just like, they don't have to even like sell this well. It's not to even be a home run. Because I agree, at $10 a month for a modern millennial consumer like myself. I'm sorry, I know millennial is kind of a shitty term here, but work with me here. Like myself, I'm not compelled to buy this thing. Like for $10 a month, I don't care about it. I'm just also not really in the market for it though. Even at $5 a month, I don't care about it. But I feel like at $5, it would be like a maybe at some point. I would try the free trial at $5, but I know at $10, I'm not going to care about it. It's too expensive for me to want to care about. I'm too disinterested in it, right? But that doesn't matter because what's important for Apple is you get the free trial, and that's going to boost all eyes and all metrics of any kind for all those magazines here. So they're all going to be like, oh, well, fuck, dude. Our metrics are through the fucking roof right now, and we need Apple.
Export slick.
Yo, Dirty Deeds Slay, thank you for the more bits, man. Really appreciate having you here. Y'all, Dirty Deeds gifted a lot of subs yesterday, so I mega appreciate his generosity. So yeah, that's blue ocean strategy combined with the fact that Apple's gonna be able to play the bully and reinforcing how the magazine companies all need Apple at this point. It's gonna be a long-term net positive for Apple, irrelevant of how actually well the product goes, because it's gonna get the metrics it needs. Keep in mind here too, there was a very similar strategy done with Apple Music where people are like, oh well, Apple's gonna be able to compete with Spotify. good fucking luck. And then here we are now, where Apple's, I believe, approaching the total users. They're approaching pretty far. I believe they're over halfway to the total users of Spotify now. And you can recall they've had many notable exclusives because they just use their money clout to just like nab some big noteworthy exclusive albums upon release. And despite all that, now that's obviously, I'm not dick riding Apple Music. I'm not even saying it's really good. I don't personally use it. I am saying that these are the facts. They have a fuck ton of users, and people were skeptical about they were ever going to get to that point in the first place.